Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's lesson, we are diving deep into one of the most popular feature introduced in ES6, and this is arrow function. If you have been following along with this course, you already know how to write the regular function and also little bit the arrow function. But there is, but the arrow function they are going to change the way you write JavaScript code. They are shorter, cleaner, and come with some interesting behavior, especially when it comes to the this keyword. Okay. By the end of this video, we'll understand the syntax of arrow function, when to use them and when not to use them, and the key difference between arrow function and the regular function. So let's jump right in. The first question is, what are the arrow function? Arrow function are more conscious way to write function expression. They were introduced in ES6 and use the fat arrow syntax. That's the equal sign followed by the greater than equal, greater than symbol. Let me show you the difference. Here is the traditional function expression previously we used, right? Const grade equal function, then given a parameter, then return something hello, okay, then the name. And there is no problem. This is okay. And if you are console log this, console log great, then call whatever the name is, like Sarah. Okay, this is good, very good. Now here is the same function written as an arrow function. Just const grade equal name, okay, then the equal greater than sign, then use the return, and just this code, copy this code here, and that's it. This is another arrow function. Sorry, this is the arrow function without calling the function keyword, function name, function keyword. We just use this like that. We remove this function, right? Function keyword, and added an arrow between the parameters and the function body. This was the function body, this was the arrow, right? And this is your parameter. So already looks cleaner, right? Okay, great. For implicit return, but it get even better if your function body is a single expression. You can make it even shorter by removing the curly braces and the return keyword. This is called an implicit return. What it means? Just copy this code here without using this. Just copy this code. Remember, call it. That's great. Now it's also working. Just comment it and copy it. We check in our terminal, is it working properly, fine or not? Okay. Okay, open your terminal. Okay, open terminal. Note, our file name is 52 arrow function. Yeah, you see, just single line using the implicit return, I mean the without return, and it's given a result exactly the old way what we get. Okay, when you remove the curly braces, JavaScript automatically return the result of that expression. Beautiful, right? So next is parameter variation. So now let's talk about these parameters. If you have explicit one parameter, you can even skip the parenthesis if you want. This is another interesting part. Suppose const square equal num. Then remember, before we are using the parenthesis, now we don't use parenthesis, but we call it with num into num. And this is correct. No problem here. Okay. And this is absolutely correct. And it's give you an exact result without any issue. Okay, just terminal open, enter, you see 25. Okay, okay, now, but if you have no parameters or more than one parameter, you must use the parenthesis. Remember, you must use parenthesis if there is no parameter are available. Okay, this is another use case and this is important. If there is no parameter are available, then must use this code. Sorry, this format. This one must be, otherwise it's showing an error. But for the multi-line, you could use the parameter just as we did before here. You see, if this is for the multi-line parameter. Okay, and this one is correct. this one also give you a exact result, exact output what you want. And this is the beauty of the ES6. You see, console log, and you get exact result. Say hello, you get the say hello, and from the add, you get the total calculation part. I mean the total summation value. So the use case, arrow functions really shine when working with the arrow methods like map, filters, and reducer. They make your code incredibly readable. Suppose, check. So here is the example with the regular function. Okay, just regular function. You check this code. This is the regular function. You see, nothing fancy here. Just number map with the function, and that's it, right? This is give a result without any issue. What is it? This is a regular function, right? But with arrow function. With arrow function, how to get the result? Just copy this. Did you see? Copy this one. You see? Arrow function, numbers map. Without using function keyword, even the parenthesis, we just call the num, then arrow key with the num into 2. That's it. And we get exact output from here. But this line is more cleaner, isn't it? And this one is the clean line instead of 3. So let's do another example with filter. Suppose this one. Check. You see? So isn't it cleaner and easier to read? Just filter, and we are getting the even number from this array, right? And this is cleaner. Okay. Now the use case to for the callback function. Array function are perfect for callback in method like the set timeout or even handlers. This is really a great. Take this example. You see, with the set timeout, the traditional function and the arrow function, much cleaner code, right? Also, the returning object. Actually, sometimes you want to return an object using the implicit return. Here is the gotcha. You need to wrap the object in parentheses. Otherwise, JavaScript think the curly braces are a function body. Okay, so be careful when you are using this. This is the wrong way. JavaScript, like if you are using the curly braces and then you are using this clone, then this is the wrong way. Okay, but the correct way is use the parenthesis, then this one. Then this is the object. It's called a object. But again, also the shorthand property name is like this. Okay, this is really interesting and much cleaner than the traditional way. Okay, great. Now the this keyword where the arrow function get really interesting. This is the most important difference between arrow function and the regular function. Arrow function do not have their own this binding. Instead, they inherit this from this surrounding scope. This is called the lexical this binding. Let me show you why this matter. Here is a common problem with the regular function. Suppose when you are using this function, what happening here? Inside this for each loop, for each actually callback, this for each callback, this doesn't refer to the person object anymore. Did you notice? It doesn't refer to the person object anymore. It's undefined or the global object in non-strict mode. Okay. So the old solution was to store this in a variable. Okay. Suppose if you are using the const, then self, then this. Okay. Now this is store reference. Okay. Now because when you see without this you get the undefined undefined, but with this keyword now you get the emma. This undefined will be emma. Why? because mi is the actual name and we are using this as a store reference. That's why. But with the arrow function, the problem disappear because arrow function don't create their own this. Okay, so with the arrow function, just simple line of code, console log it, sorry, comment it, use this, just this code. That's it, and this is perfect. The arrow function inherits this from the show hobbies, which refer to the person object without any manually inputting the this keyword. Okay, and this is a great. Now the limitation. Arrow function are amazing, but they are not a replacement for all function. Here are the key limitations. First is the cannot be used as method. You should not use arrow function as object method when you need to access this keyword. Okay, this is important. Like if you are using this like that, and this is not possible. Okay, this is not possible. You are using the person object with the name, that greeting. This is not possible. Why? Because the arrow function doesn't bind the this to the person object. It inherits this from the global scope. Okay, so in that case, use the regular function instead. This is a good, like, not this one, and this is a good. This work perfectly fine. Okay, or use the modern method shorthand. Okay, not this one. Use modern, and this also great. You see, just use the bracket, and it also a good practice. Okay, second is cannot be used as a constructor. Arrow function cannot be used with the new keyword because they don't have their own this. Because we already know the arrow function inherit the this, not the this actually their own. So in that case, see the example. You see this function with the const variable and using this is not a good practice. Okay, you see. Okay, this is the another limitation. You get the type error because the person arrow is not a constructor, right? This is not a constructor. That's why. Third is no arguments object. Arrow function don't have their own arguments object. Remember, like regular arrow function, you maybe get like this. This is the regular arrow function, and this is okay, right? This is okay, but sorry, this is the regular function. But with the arrow function, if you are trying to do, you see, it's given you a error because you in here we get you try to get the arguments, okay, but in here there is no argument available because this is a reference error. Okay, all you need if you need all argument in an arrow function, use the rest operator, then you get the actual result without any error. I mean, if you want this, just use argument, then you are, if you are passing these arts, okay, now this is not showing any reference. Okay, you get the actual output like 1 2 3. Okay, this is the difference, the regular function and the arrow function. And the fourth is yield. Arrow function cannot be used as generator function. They can contain the yield keyword. We will cover generator in the future lesson, but just now that if you need the generator, use a regular function. Okay, now the question is when to use. Let me give you a quick decision guide. Use arrow function when writing a short simple callback like map, filter, for each. You need to preserve this context from the outer scope. Writing conscious one-liner function, uh, the passing function as argument. Then you use the arrow function. And the regular function use when you need to define the object method that need this and create constructor function, or you need the argument object, or you need to create a generator function. And the lastly, the function logic is complex and benefits from the complex syntax. Okay, then you are using the regular function. And this is the comparison. See, this is a comparison. The calculator, you see, add this in this object value, add, and then multiply, then get the result. And the arrow function use number just simplify version, then use the arrow function, and this is a good. So the final conclusion is there you have it, Shesh. And arrow function are one of the best feature of modern JavaScript. They make your code cleaner and solve the notorious this binding problem. So quick recap is arrow function use the equal greater than syntax and are more conscious. They have implicit return for single expression. They inherit this from the surrounding the scope from the lexical scope, actually lexical this, but they can't be used as a constructor methods needing a this or generator. In the next video, we will explore the default parameter and rest parameters, two more powerful ES6 feature that will make your function even more flexible. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe for more JavaScript tutorial, and drop a comment if you have any question. Practice what you learned today. Try converting some of your regular function to arrow function and see the difference. See you in the next one.